Boom, ladies and gentlemen, it is official. We are this year going to do the first Executive Protection Symposium, right? So many of you know that I've been doing the Protector Symposium for quite a few years, and it's been awesome, man. Like, we've been able to really change people's lives, but this year we're going to aim at something a little bit different. I've been wanting to do this forever, and I'm going to use the skills I learned from the first event to do this. This is going to be an event aimed at executive protection professionals. This is going to be an event aimed at agents and management level, team leaders, and folks that are building their careers. I wanted to create an event that had extreme value to us. You know what I mean? So like, we're out in the industry, we go to events, and why do we go to these events? Because of networking, right? What if I could create an event that supercharged the networking impact on your career and those relationships? This event, the EP Symposium, is designed to do that. I will get you in front of hiring managers. You will be able to get your professional photo taken on site. You will have a number of experiences with those same hiring managers that will help you be identified to be hired. There's going to be multiple sub-networking events inside this event. You're going to have the opportunity to train if you want to and get certifications that you maybe didn't have enough time to get during the year. Plus up on some medical certs, take a pistol course, take a number of different courses that we can knock out in the course of a day, and just plus up your training jacket so you walk away with definite validated value to take out into the industry to make you even more hireable. And let these training directors see you, right? Have industry conversations that are led by the crowd, so you're not just sitting there watching PowerPoint presentations the whole time and wondering if you're getting value. This event is carefully crafted to get value to the agent on the ground and team leaders so that we can find each other, get work, and have the most valuable careers of our lives in the protection industry. There's never been anything like this. We're going to focus on hard skills and soft skills. And if you really want to, you'll also get a chance to compete in the Protector Games and find out where you stack up in the industry. But that's not for everyone. You don't have to participate in it. But I can't wait to bring you the EP Symposium coming to you this year. Hit the links below, sign up, early bird prices, all the madness. We're just warming up, we're just getting started. This is gonna be amazing. God bless Semper Fi, more to come. Boom, what's going down, you guys? Welcome to the podcast. This is gonna be a good episode, man. So I've been connected to Sam Jones for a minute. He came through our course, he started his company he moved quick through the industry into this phase of development, which is super awesome. And it's such an honor, and also he's a good, solid man, just the type of dude that I want around me, the type of dude I'm always honored to roll with, whether we're rolling parallel on a detail or just hanging out, man. So it's an honor to have you on the podcast, Sam. How you doing, brother?
Thanks, Byron. Thanks for inviting me. And I'm just grateful to be here and a part of this,
Yeah,
so,
man.
What's up?
No, go ahead. It's good too.
It's just good to be around leaders like yourself, I've been in the game for 10 years, and so the brotherhood and the people that I've met so far are just far known. So.
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate that. Relationships are what make it all worth it, I think, at the end of the day. Like in Iraq, relationships, I remember, relationships were the reason I was like, dude, I just got to get my guys home. And then I remember, in the industry and in the hardest times, on the hardest details over in Iraq and some of the most ridiculous things we've had to do as professional protectors, it's always the guy next to you, that your running mate, that makes it okay. Yeah, you know what I mean? We're going to go do these things. So it's an honor to be connected with you, man. And I just wanted to have you come on here. One, talk about your experiences. I know you're in the trenches with a lot of this stuff still, and that type of information is super fresh, right? Like, I can have an Elijah Shaw who's at a totally different altitude than both of us in certain respects, and he'll talk about certain things. Yeah, there he is, man. There he is. That's what's up, right? And then, and then I'll get a guy, I'll interview a guy who just got into the industry who will talk about things that are super relevant. And then, like yourself, me and you, we're boutique
private security owners. You know, I don't know, how long has Iron Goat been operating?
Since May 1st, 2023, a little over a year.
Bro. So you're like fighting that critical mass, probably. I don't know, you can tell me. But like this is the grind time. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've experienced. Yeah. Yeah, man. So I'm looking forward to digging into some of that and then talking about the expo, man. You guys have been amazing partners for us in getting the EP Expo up and running. So I can't say thank you enough for that, man. Heck yeah. Send it.
Just a pleasure, you know, like the day that I saw it, the first thing that went through my head was Byron's got to see this place.
Yeah,
So
you are the reason, like you're like the you're part of the reason for the expo, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you hitting me up and bugging me, dude. I remember I was on that drive to Vegas to go do some things, and we talked. So I was like, I finally had some car time, and that kind of like the inspiration and all that stuff like happened really quickly. So big thanks for that, man. At the beginning of these podcasts, I always like to ask that question, man. You know, who's the man behind the work? You know, who are you at your core?
So is that what you're asking me? Who am I?
Yeah, who are you? Who's the man? Who's Sam Jones? You know, deep down inside.
Well, let's see. I got into the game, let's see, back in like 2015.
Mm.
And that was after my MMA. I decided that there was no long term with that. And then a retired PD that went to the same gym as me reached out to me and asked me what I had plans to do now, and said I haven't really thought about it. Why do you ask? And he brought up private security and how he had a spot on his team, and he thought that I'd be a good fit. So he pointed me in the direction of going to this security school in Sacramento, and it was a 5-day course, 8-hour days in a classroom. And at the end of it, I got my guard card, and then he put me on a detail, and it was a red carpet for Netflix.
Nice.
And that was an opportunity to meet the team and see what I could bring to the table.
Yeah.
And that was in San Francisco, and this was when I was living up in Sacramento. So I went, and at the end of it, sat down with the guys. We had some drinks and talked about the event. And then as I was driving home, he called me and said, "Hey man, the guys like you. There's a spot on the team. If you want it, it's yours." So that was the beginning.
The beginning, the etiology.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I find a lot of dudes like us that get in the game just get plucked, you know. Like I didn't choose the game chose me. You know what I'm saying? The same here. I got plucked out of a bar. So that's pretty interesting. All right. So then what's the next chapter?
So I then got called by a buddy who was living in Escondido. I'd never been to San Diego, and I was having a break from the detail that I was on. And he called, said, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Actually, I'm taking like 2 weeks off, and just I haven't thought about it, but I got to take a little bit of a break." He's like, "All right, get in your car, let's go."
My man.
But you heard me. Get down here and see me, man. And I was like, he'd been down here for a few years, and I kept telling him, "I'll be there. I'll be there." And it never happened. And then this time, something was just pulling me. Like, yeah, you're right. So I was getting my oil changed, and as soon as they handed me my car, I jumped in my car and went straight to Escondido.
Heck yeah.
Our bags packed in my car and everything.
That's so what's up, dude. Stay ready. You gotta get ready. What's up?
Yeah. So then I show up and get to his place, and the next day I wake up and start driving around just to get a feel for the place. And something said, "You're not leaving. You're staying right here.
This is the spot.
This is the spot." So at that moment, I just started blasting my resume out everywhere. Wow. It didn't matter if you were low end security or you were up there doing EP. If you were a private security firm, my resume was heading your way. And in the beginning, I was picked up by there was like 3 companies that wanted me, but it was all just kind of like that lower scale of like, $16 to $20 an hour if you're lucky.
Oh man.
And in my mind, it was like, hey, money is better than no money.
Yep. That's a good principle. That's a good principle. Sometimes I have students that are like, well, it's like a low paying. Should I take that job? And I'm like, hey, bro, how much are you making if you don't take that job? Take the job, take the relationships, and keep moving, bro. That's the game.
Yes, sir. And so I went ahead and jumped on a couple of those like no-namers,
Yeah.
And that lasted. Oh, and then a buddy that I knew back in SAC, I told him, hey, I'm down here. Do you know any companies? And he's like, I'll make a phone call. And reached out. Well, yeah, right. Like, give me a second.
Yeah, man. Relationship, baby. Let's go.
Amen. And so he reached out to a guy, and then I got a phone call from this company. It was Temple 57 at the time. And they said, hey, we saw that you're looking for work. I said, yeah. They put me on their roster. They said, here, this is how it works. We'll blast out details. If you want it, grab it. If you don't, pass.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. And so I was still doing the graveyard, making 18 an hour.
Yeah.
Waiting for these shifts to come through. Anything it was, and if it was available to grab, I went dink, and I accepted it. I didn't even pay attention to where it was at and how far I had to drive. I was just like, this is the company I want to work for, and they have a deal that needs to be filled. I'm taking it.
Heck yeah, that's how you build, man. You prove yourself.
So that was a little rough because some of those shifts weren't worth the drive.
Yeah, man, you end up eating. Yeah, man, you end up eating it, bro. But that's what's up, dude. Heck yeah.
Yeah. And then after a little while, I got a call saying, so how's it going for you with the company? And I was like, it's okay. I'm picking up these shifts that are like 4 hours and they're in LA, but I don't know what I'm doing. But they're like, what? You're going all the way to LA? And I was like, hey man, I want to work.
Yeah.
So they said, well, we got some stuff that we're spinning up. Just hang tight for a sec. Yeah. Sure enough, a detail came up and it threw me put me on 50 hours a week.
Nice.
And I 6 days, I was working 6 days a week and just killing it, man. I was just all in. And that was just one thing led to another. It lasted about 6 months. I started doing the whole, up, down. Like I had to go like, oh, we're out of like the contract's canceled. Next, I'm step back, taking a pay cut, but that was just for a short time. And then something else would come up. And I'm like, hey, I get a phone call. Hey, are you available? You're in San Diego now, right? Yeah, I am in San Diego. We got this detail, 35 an hour. Yeah. Okay, let's go, And sure enough, it led to some really cool details. And
yeah,
I knew it. I was doing full-blown executive protection. And
yeah.
Got a job with, let's see, I was doing the Trump campaign 2020. It was 2019 and 2020, and that was with my guy Bobby Huggins.
Mm-hmm. We were both there.
What's that?
So were you at the inauguration?
No.
Oh, okay. I was at the inauguration. So I was about to be like, we were both there, because I was hanging out in DC for that party. It was a good time, man. It was a good time. Yeah, that limo that got burnt up that was on the newsreel again and again. Now we can talk about it. That one of our agents got jumped right on that corner. It was like the one place in DC that was gnarly, and they just kept showing it again and again and again. Everywhere else was like a red ocean of red hats. But one of our agents went into a McDonald's with his pin on for the campaign and got jumped by all the beloved Democrats in McDonald's. And I was like, you can't go to McDonald's, homie, with the wrong pin. That's like their headquarters. I'm kind of playing, but no, that really happened. He went in, man, can't go to McDonald's. You got the wrong pin on, homie. They popped his tires. We're freaking punching holes in the car with screwdrivers. it was a little hairy, man. At any rate, sorry, side little tale from the crypt there.
Good story. Yeah. Well, at the most that I did a lot of the rallies. So, and then before that even came to an end, I actually got hit up by Paragon, and then their federal contracts, and so I was like, yeah, like I'll jump on that. It paid well. It was something different. It jumped on federal contracts. Haven't done anything like that before. So I did that for a year, and then I started missing the grind that with real private security, like the executive protection.
Yeah, moving.
And so that's when your executive protection training day came my way. And I was like, do I want to throw down on this?
Right.
Like, I don't know any other way to get this ball rolling. So okay, here we go. Boop.
Yeah, man.
So that was cool because I was actually the detail that I was on. It was like I was at the DEA, but I was just the guard at night. So I just sat in the lobby, making sure no one tried to jump in and steal some drugs.
Right. That's what's up.
You know, and I was doing doing the executive protection training day. So I was just going to school, really. You know, my eyes, I was getting paid to learn more about protection.
Dude, and there's a message in that, bro, because that's what I did. That's how I got my associates, bachelor's, and master's, man. I remember I met a dude who was with me back in that time. I ran into him more recently. And I was like, man, didn't we work I remember we worked the detail back in the day. And he was like, bro, he's like, I remember you. He's like, how could I forget? You were the only guy whenever we got downtime that was not going out doing nothing. You just went back to the room and were working on your college courses. He's like, I had never seen anything like that. But he was like, because he's an older dude, you know, he's retired from law enforcement and all that. He was like, I was proud of you, man. And you know, me, I was like in my 20s, you know, everyone's like, hey man, want to go out? I was like, nah, I gotta go, dude, I gotta do this work. And anytime we had downtime, we were all in one room. I was just sitting there. Yeah, what do you need? Okay, cool. I got it. I'll be down there in a minute. So resurrect dead time.
I've heard stories about you, bro.
Really?
Yeah. I heard like about the detail that you were on, that you were writing your book.
Yeah. That's gnarly, man. That's cool.
Yeah, man.
That's really cool that that's out there. But yeah, man, the message is, you guys, for you guys watching this episode, resurrect dead time, man. There's so much time we use in security that's like, hurry up and wait, you know, get there an hour early. Like once your work's done, you know, you have your advanced dialed, you know your routes, you know where the bathrooms are, you know, you have a security plan, you've communicated with your homies, like do something to make yourself better, you know, like get your audio books in, get your podcasts that make you smarter in. I'm not talking about fictional. I'm talking about stuff that can make you better. Put yourself through college, work your side hustle. You know what I'm saying? You know, because executive protection is an amazing industry, but like, bro, like I wouldn't say it's the last thing you want to do with your life. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, build a corporation, build a company, find, you know what I'm saying? So you guys got to have your side hustle. And sorry, I'm gonna go on a quick rabbit hole. When you have your side hustle, because one of the other things that can happen, this is a service-oriented industry, right? So, you know, I came back from war, super intense, super hardcore, all these things, and then I went straight into EP, had a cognitive dissonance around going from being like a warlord to being like a servant. So then I was like, man, like I am not your coffee getter. You know, like do you know who I am? I had to do that whole maturity thing, rearrange it in my brain so that I went from, hey, this is boring and annoying and I'm not a babysitter, to, hey, there's a lot of honor associated with servanthood and serving people. Warrior culture since the beginning of pimping's been pimping. There's always a certain specific group of dudes taken from the military and put in service protecting the elites of the time. This is an honorable service that goes back to since the beginning of mankind. You know, we have so much downtime. Make the most of it, contribute to yourself so that when you're done doing this physical work, you have something of value you already have built, you know. One of my mentors, I remember him saying to me in no uncertain terms, he was like, Byron, you don't want to do this your whole life. So make sure you have an exit strategy. Make sure you build something. And that was really a pivotal point in my career, you know. So yeah, man. All right, we're going through your journey. Then you got on training day. Did it help you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I had like pages of notes,
Heck yeah.
and I uh, I was soaking it up, and then after that, shortly after, I got like a phone call from one of our mutual buddies.
Yeah, Caleb.
Yeah, and he had a detail, and I was like, yeah, like, what do you got? What days? And put me on it, and he's like, all right, yeah, let's do it. Cool. And then he found out that that I had actually done your training day. And he goes, Byron's? I was like, yeah. And he's like, that's my boy, dude. He's like my brother.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? Well, that's good to know. Like,
Yeah.
maybe you can connect me to Byron sometime.
Yeah.
And then actually shortly after, like, you hit me up on Instagram saying, hey, I talked to my guy Caleb and he let me know that you did the training day.
Yep.
Like, I'd love to hear your experience and what you thought of it.
Yeah. No,
So
it's cool, dude, because Caleb comes to me. Now, keep in mind, you know, I started my career with Caleb, right? So like we started out 21 years old in this game. Like, we grew up in this game. Only thing I've ever done is executive protection, Marine Corps, EP. I've had 2 jobs. And so most of what I talk about in there is what we did, you know, hitting 50, 60, 70 countries a year for 7 years straight, just like fastball, you know. And so when he was like, yo, bro, this dude went through your course, it was kind of this funny moment, you know. He was like, dude, if he's doing it the way we're doing it, he's solid. But then it was also like, you know, I got another funny moment like this where one of my mentors called me up and he's like, hey, young blood. I'm like, yo, what's up? He's like, I got a guy sitting here. He asked me if I know Byron Rodgers. And I'm like, yo, it ain't like that, man. And he's like, yeah, no, it's all good. You doing your thing, young blood. You doing your thing. So it's really cool when you see those worlds collide and there's good things coming out of it, man. That's awesome. Heck yeah.
yeah.
Awesome.
So that was cool. And then that led to Caleb then referring me to LSI.
Yep. Yep.
Old Charles Law.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. And then he hit me up about you. There's the other side of the game. You know what I'm saying? Where we be hitting each other up, man, because we got Cali. We got a stronghold. There's a couple companies in Cali, and we're all connected enough. When somebody hops in the pot, we're always like, yo, you seen it? You know about this cat? You know? So it's an active market, but it's small at the top, man. So yeah, you're on the good side of the circuit. So yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Working with Charles was a pretty that was an honor. You know, I could tell, like, just the way he handled things. He was quick. He was like, he had like answers. He always treated you like an equal.
Yeah.
You know, and the things that he would lay down, it was, I could tell. I was like, man, this guy knows this game.
Yep.
I hadn't met anyone that even compared to him until him.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to get in this guy's head.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is like a guy you want to learn from.
Yep. No, 100%. He was one of the best bosses I had when I was coming up in the game as well. You know, and he's been on this podcast. If you guys haven't listened to it yet, go back and check out the Charles, both of the podcasts we've done with Charles. There are mad gems in there, both for agents and for company owners, because he knows the business. He knows the business of it all for sure. And that's one of the main reasons I invited him to the EP Expo to speak, you know, because nobody really, you know, there's a lot of people in our industry that are amazing that haven't been given a platform. And the things he's going to drop on everybody at that event is going to be next level for sure. Thank you.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, what do you think of the hard skills?
That was intense. It's on Arizona. 110 degrees.
You guys went during a hot time, boy.
It was cool, man. I think I was the second class of the hard skills.
Wow.
So there was the number one class,
Yep.
and my class was the next one.
Yes. I
It
remember
was
that.
222.
Yep, I remember that because I had a client ship me out to Greece for like half the year. So I couldn't actually be there for that one. I still to this day feel bad about that, man. And I was like, damn, like, what am I gonna do? I can't say no. Okay, you know what I mean? I'm not like a retired, guy running a school, like that was tough, man. I felt that. But you guys still got some good training for what I heard, and it was awesome to welcome you to the family. I just wish I could have shook your hand, man. You know what I'm saying? In that
Yeah,
moment.
for sure.
Yeah.
It was cool though. You'd sent me a WhatsApp message, and it was one of your videos, and you're like, "Sorry, dude, I'm in Greece." I was like, he's like, but the good news is I got to bring my honey with me, and so your wife was there too. I was like, oh, you can't be mad at that. You can't be mad at it.
Yeah, every once in a while we get ours in this game. Every once in a while, you know what I'm saying? That's what's up, man. Heck yeah. And then did you see professionally, did it impact your professional world going to the hard skills?
Absolutely, yeah. We went there. We did the gunfighting section. That was really cool. I can't remember the name of the instructor. That's
Damien?
tatted.
Maybe Damien or
No, not Damien. He was there, but the guy that was actually doing the firearm like downrange.
yeah.
Can't remember. He's from the Arizona area.
You know exactly who you're talking about. It's not coming to me either. He owns the gun shop down there. He does all of our firearm stuff. He's gonna kill me.
Right.
Marine. He's like a Marine, man.
So cool. He's all black and white tatted,
Yep.
but you wouldn't even see him as that person because he wears sleeves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden he like takes off the sleeves and stuff, and you're like, whoa. And just the way that he handles, like the guy's like a pro.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
Then there was Rick Sweeney.
Yep.
Learned another one of the best.
100%.
Then we did
Ryan. That's his name. His name's Ryan.
Okay. There we go. Yeah, I had to like go and talk to him, get a picture and stuff, just because he was solid. And then so we had Rick Sweeney, and then we had the guy that taught us how to do like the getaway driving, like doing like figure eights and spin outs.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool. And then being on that old airport road and like actually doing real chases.
Yeah. Counter pit.
Wow, bro. There was a couple of those guys because we're all rookies, right? We're all learning. And you hope everyone does really well, but then there's a little bit of a learning curve before they actually do it right.
Yeah. It's a gentle art when it's done right.
Yeah.
Level. It's like boxing, you know what I mean? Like the real good guys they're like gentle, you know what I'm saying? Or even like Roland, you know how good the dude is because he's calm but when you get like a beginner in there, they're scratching you up, and you're just like, it's what it's like driving the cars, bro. It's like the beginners will actually hate you. The OGs will come up and just push you off the road, and it'll be like, oh, it's like fun,
Yeah. It was cool. There was a couple of times where windows shattered, all kinds of fun stuff. So it felt like we were in it,
I remember getting
what's that?
I remember getting the bill. It's fine.
I was like, I hope these cars make it to the next class.
Yeah. That's what they're there for, man. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good. No, I remember talking to Charles after that. I remember him saying that he was going to consider bumping his guys up based on the levels of certification they had in terms of pay. And so I was really happy to know that some of you guys were going to that course, because he was like, dude, this just hits you're going to max my guys out. He's like, your course is going to max my dudes out. They're going to have the medical, they're going to have the driving, they're going to have the things that we want to incentivize them to get. So he was like, that's why I think that's a really good thing you're doing. So that was inspirational for me, man. Heck yeah. And then when did you kick off Iron Goat, bro? Welcome to the big game. Welcome to the owner.
Yeah, well, let's see. My wife, I have to give credit to my wife, because she was the one that was like, you planted the seed, but you got that voice of doubt that comes at you. Like, that's Byron though. I'm not, nah, this guy's got a lot of experience, like I don't even know where I would begin. Anyway, she's over there saying, stop talking like that. No, you can do it. One thing led to another. Next thing you know, we're getting the paperwork, we're filling it out, and we're applying for a PPO.
Yep. I remember that. I remember how quick it was. I remember being like, yo, my man Sam is making moves. He's flying through here, bro. I was like, hey, let's go, man. Let's go. There's certain guys, that hit me up and they're like, I'm gonna start my own agency. And I'm like, okay. But you were one of the ones that I was like, yeah, it's that time. That's the type of money you want to make. You have so many of the attributes. The rest of it, you're going to figure out on the move. Because that's a lot of what it is, man. People think they have to be perfect before they jump. And it's like, no, dude, you know what you need to be is willing to do whatever it takes to get there and jump, and you'll build that parachute by the grace of God, man. And I think that's the major differentiator between me and a lot of humans is I'll be like, if I feel like my Heavenly Father told me to do it, I'm not worried about how. I just need to go get in the ring and start getting punched in the face. We'll figure it out. And he's always been faithful to meet me on the battlefield and help me punch through and hammer through. And then I get to the other side and I'm like, look what we did, man. He's like, of course, this was the plan. And I'm like, oh my gosh, So no, I respect you for that, man. Heck yeah. So how's everything? So now you're in the business game of EP. EP Expo is coming up. We're a little shoot off into another direction real quick. The EP Expo, what are you most excited about for the EP Expo, man?
Well, honestly, all of it.
Yeah.
The hard skills is the day one, right?
Yep.
And that is the area that I feel like I need the most practice.
Yep.
Most
of us are working all the time.
Say that again.
I was saying, I think that's most guys in the industry, whether they're really humble enough to admit it or not, because most of us are working so much that like the being able to keep up with training is a task. Like you have to be deliberate. Otherwise, 2-3 years will go by and you hadn't even shot your gun. You hadn't been to a medical course. That's like easy to do in this game if you're not careful. So I think you're just being honest. Most of the dudes are just pretending like they're just that good.
Well, that's one thing about me is I can't pretend. I'm like, I can't lie, like I'm like, it's just one of those things where I don't have a problem with admitting where I'm.
Yeah. I'm the same way.
Like, because that's who I am and I hold me to that standard. I think that people that I work with and who get to know me, they see that.
They appreciate it.
Yeah. They're like, hey, this guy is real, like what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
And if he says he's going to do something, they find out I actually do it.
Yep.
So
thanks.
I was just like, okay, I need practicing on my training. On my firearm, like there's anything else, I can do that. I can get in that mindset of when I'm in the field to just be ahead of the curve. I kind of put my mind there, like, what would I do if I wanted to break into this place?
Yep.
And start come up with my strategy. And then how could I prevent that from happening? If this was my house,
right,
with my family here, and I was up to me to protect them, what would I do?
Right.
And that I knew I had that part. Mm-hmm. Now, if someone were to pull on me, would I feel confident with like pulling on them? Would I feel confident throwing live ammo down and feel confident that I'm going to hit the guy, or I'm not going to hit the person behind him, or I'm not going to send a bullet into another house? I was just keeping it real.
Yeah.
And so I've been going to these other, I go to the range. I actually, Charles hit me up and said, there's this guy that trains in Paris. Yep. He's good, and like, if you got the day off, come and shoot with me, man. You'll learn a lot, I promise.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about, man. Dude's a savage. He's a civilian and he's a savage too. And I think what you're talking about is good, man. I think that a little bit of healthy fear and anxiety around that event of having to open fire in public is so healthy and so necessary, because it's that little insecurity that's going to drive dudes to keep training. If that insecurity goes away, cats are going to be like, I'm good. Like I got blindsided by it when I started, because Luke, the dude who got me in, Luke Agajanian, Luke A. Shoot, he was like, come out and shoot the competitions with us. And I was like, bro, I just got back from combat. Like, do you know who I like I'm worried about shoot, and then I came out and I learned how good people actually were at this thing we call gunfighting and well, shooting sports. And I realized, like, dude, I'm garbage. And that's what got me, that's what motivated me. I was like, dude, like, I don't know that I can outperform somebody with a handgun. Like with a rifle, sure, I had to, and I did. But like with a handgun, okay, cool, you've been to Iraq. With a rifle, bro, your new katana is a handgun, and handguns are way more finicky than. So, and I shot pistol in the Marine Corps, and I still was like, and so guys that get out of the armed forces or get or cops that are qualling a couple times a year, like, look, man, if you're not in a unit that's currently constantly training, and if it was years ago, these skills are perishable, man. So, nah, bro, this is the way of life, man. I dig what you're saying.
Yeah, well, because of the hard skills day that we're gonna have, I've taken it upon myself to be like, all right, I'm not stupid when I show up to this.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm like dry firing in my garage, like 20 minutes every day.
Yep.
Neighbor that was he was in the Marines.
Yep.
And he was what was it that he would do? He was recon in the Marine.
Thank you. Solid.
And so he's like, so I'm talking him into going too. So you'll meet him. His name's Brad.
Let's go.
Solid dude. And like he's made it his mission because he knows my goal is to get better.
Yep.
And my neighbor, he literally lives 30 seconds across the street.
That's awesome.
And he checks in. He's like, how'd dry fire go today? It didn't.
Yeah, right. I'm getting there, bro.
And but eventually I how'd it go today? It went. It was amazing. Hey,
Yeah.
Really liked how you said do this, do that. And that was really cool how you said start out this way and then progress into going like, in this direction. It was like a step by step.
Yeah.
And before I knew it, I started feeling myself getting more confident. I started feeling me like getting dialed in.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the practice. It's all about just like really taking a small window and learning your firearm.
Yep. Being intimate with it.
Yeah.
I love that, man. And that's one of the massive differentiators for the Expo is there are a lot of EP conferences in the game. And I wanted to create something that was just like, it's more than just a conference, more than just like going somewhere, walking out with a stack of business cards. This is my stack from the last conference, more than that, dude. There's going to be experiences. We're going to be hanging together, banging together. By the end of it, everyone's going to feel like a big family. There's the digital component where everyone's going to be connected. Right now, we're getting everyone connected on our social media platforms. So you will have those relationships forever. We're going to shoot together. We're going to do medical. We're going to have medical certs available for guys that don't have like TCCC, TECC, first aid, AED. I'm going to get probably I think I can fit 3 of them, maybe, don't quote me on this, but we're going to figure it out. We got our meeting tomorrow. And then place, got a protection dog in here. You ain't getting me at my house. I stay ready, man. I stay ready. At any rate. And then we go into the big room, man, where, if anyone listening is looking for an opportunity or a way to get into the EP industry or work is slow, I'm telling you, there's no better place for you to be. This is not a marketing thing. This is literally the reality. We are creating an environment with multiple security companies, multiple security company owners, multiple executive protection active agents in the same room. If you want, hey, hang around the barbershop long enough, you're going to get a haircut. You want to get in this game, get in the room and start meeting everybody, start talking, start being known. And that's literally what opens the doors. Everything that you've talked about, the opportunities, most of them came from relationships. Caleb, Charles, me, there's a relationship highway underneath opportunity that I'm trying to open up to people. And only the ones, him who has ears to hear will hear it. Those who have the ears to hear it, they'll see it. they'll take advantage of the opportunity, and that's what makes a difference in dudes achieving success in this game, in every game. But I'm making it easy in this game. Heck yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
You
bro.
know, and the speakers, like when I saw the roster,
Yeah.
there's some guys on there that were on my bucket list, and now
Yeah.
it's happened finally.
I don't know how I'm gonna beat myself. I don't know how we're gonna do better next year, bro. That blew the whole, come on, man. So I'm stoked for it, man. Heck yeah. Executiveprotectionlifestyle.com is where you guys can find tickets, message. And then, okay, solid. So you're going into Iron Goat. Now you got Iron Goat. You got your own security agency up. What would you say was what was it like going from being an agent to an agency owner?
Oof.
I
No,
love
it
this.
was a little intimidating.
Yeah.
There was a part of me that didn't know what I was gonna do,
Yeah.
and that's when and that's the reason why I actually found a partner.
Yep.
And that happened to be my brother-in-law.
Heck yeah.
And because he had background with military and I had background in the industry,
Yep.
I was like, let's bring those two together and let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
And so when we finally got that PPO, we had to figure out, what apps we were going to use. We had to start hiring the manpower.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I started like reaching out. We started talking to people at, the church I go to. A lot of veterans go to our church. They had heard that we were starting a security company and said, hey, we heard that you guys are opening a company. I'd like to work for you guys. So it kind of all naturally came together.
Yeah.
The card falling on the table, just one card at a time.
Heck yeah.
Brett was good with like systems. So he went ahead and got things all dialed in with the app.
Yeah.
I was the guy that had the experience. So I started doing the hiring, the interviewing, the vetting, and getting our roster built up.
Yep.
The other thing that's tricky about this is that before you can actually start promoting yourself as a company, you have to have insurance.
Yep. Overhead, baby. California made it as hard as they can.
Overhead before you even start.
Or you have a client. Depending on how you set it up. Yeah, man. It's building the parachute on the way down, boy.
Oh, it was I was like, okay, are we all on board for this? Are we all on board?
Hands on deck.
Like, we got to do it. It's part of the game. And so we went ahead, we got the insurance, got approved, PPO showed up in the mail, and we happened to land our first contract the same day that our PPO number showed up in our email.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So it was, I call it a God story.
Yep.
People might call it something else. The way the cards fell and how it all just fell into place. I was like, wow, like that's when it hit me that this was the next step.
Yeah.
Like this was part of my career. I was supposed to go this road. Otherwise, I felt like there should have been more obstacles. There should have been more hurdles. Yeah. There were hurdles. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it was easy coasting. Yeah. But when it all came down to it, the timing of things was pretty incredible. So
heck yeah, man. That's awesome. What would you say? Any advice to some agent out there who's listening, who's thinking about starting his own thing? What advice would you give him before he gets started?
Well, if you're feeling it, if you're really thinking that this is something that you want to do, and like everything, like you got, like it's almost like this calling, or you feel like it's something you want to do, then go all in. Yeah. Like, what do you have to lose? If you feel like you can do this, then go. Yeah. And figure it out. Be humble. That's the other thing. Stay humble. Yeah. Like, don't burn bridges, and just do the work, stay disciplined, stay consistent.
Yeah.
And that, I feel like if anybody does that, then it's going to eventually work.
Yep. Yeah, man. No, I think it's the best advice, because the reality is there's so many little things that you have to figure out when you're starting to try to bring an entity to life, a corporate structure, an entity to life. And so when you're governed by principles, stay consistent. It's in your heart to do it. Just get started. It's almost a better piece of advice than tactics, because the tactics, there are components that are important that you're gonna have to figure out, but the tactics change as the battlefield changes. And the reality is, you focusing on staying consistent and hammering away at your goals and your dreams is what's going to get you there. You're going to have to figure out a million tactics on the way, but those principles, that's what's going to be the thing that keeps you in that fight, man. And so, no, that's great. That's awesome. No, I love it, man. What would you say is the heart? Do you have anything to add?
No, just mainly just discipline and dedication and desire.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are the things. What would you say is the hardest lesson you've learned in the security game?
Oh, wow. Hardest lesson.
I love these questions. I love when I see my question hit. It's like a body shot. I was like, oh man, let's go.
I think learning to be flexible
Yeah.
is very important. Learning how to read people and how to approach them is crucial.
Yeah.
There's been moments when people are saying like, oh, this guy did that and he did this, and oh, like, get him gone, and I'm like, nah, no. Like, I don't give up on people that easy.
Yep.
So yeah, I feel like every client and every contract, you do what you got to do to make them happy.
Yeah.
Like, there might be ones that aren't as profitable,
Right.
but if it gives you an opportunity to put another guard to work and to get your name out there, then you do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, some of these clients, they're not going to be like rubbing our shoulders, or they're not going to give us the response that we want, or they're not going to get back to us right away when we would like them to get back to us.
Yeah.
But learn to be flexible, learn how to talk to them and treat them like they're everything. Like, hey, what do I got to do to make you happy?
Right.
So I always just, in my mind, I said, hey, this is an industry of customer service.
Yep.
You gotta, like, the customer is always right.
Yep.
So to drop your ego, get the ego out of the equation.
Yeah.
So yeah, just learning how to approach people and getting everyone to be a team.
Yeah. That's another art form. Yeah, man. Make no mistake.
Yeah, but that's probably the biggest challenge, was just staying flexible.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because you have to master so many skill sets. You got to master marketing and numbers and leadership and team integration and taxes and lawyers and laws, and you got to be on game when you want to run a kingdom player, because anything that can be shaken will be shaken. Any chinks in your armor will be exploited. Even Jesus had a Judas. You will have your Judases. You will have you're going to go through all the things, but they're all showing up to make you better, man, to help you perfect, what it is that you're here to bring to the world. So, count it all joy, man. This is the big game. What would you say about what was your proudest moment? What has been your proudest moment in this industry, in this game so far?
Proudest moment. Yeah, that's definitely I mean, with every client that we've brought on, feels like a victory to me. So I'm proud every time someone believes in us and trusts us.
Yeah,
Gives us the opportunity to show them what we got, show them what makes us unique, why Iron Goat is Iron Goat. You know, like the name comes from iron sharpens iron, you know, and the GOAT stands for get out and train. So and so we let our clients know, like, hey, we keep our guys trained. We make sure that they fit the profile, and that when they're on post, that they are there to protect you, and they are there to serve you, whatever means possible.
Yeah. Heck yeah. That's good stuff, man. I love it. I love it. And then the final question, at the end of the day, what's it all for, man? Sam Jones, how do you want to be remembered?
You know, just a guy that truly does care about other people.
Yeah.
Who does find honor and respect and gratitude at being able to serve, protect people. There's something about it that makes me feel good. I feel like I feel like that's where I belong. Makes me happy when I see that they're happy. And I pay the role.
That heart of a protector, man. That's what's up. Maybe that's what I'll call this one. That's good, dude. That's the good stuff, man. And I 100% agree with you. I 100% agree with you. Every time a client is like, all right, like, let's go, I'm like, all right, they trust. I always say thank you for your trust, you know, and then I face the boys and it's like, gentlemen, we will deliver. You know, and then this becomes the like, let's knock their socks off, man. Let's come through. Even more clutch than they ever imagined, man. That's awesome. That's good stuff. And then when they, every once in a while, you know, they'll be getting on their jet and they'll turn around and shake your hand and be like, thank you. And it's like, like that. Woo! Everyone, you know, it's like the Disney movie. Everyone's like, yeah. You know, I love it, man. I love it. I love it. Yeah, man. Good stuff, man. Well, it's an honor, dude. I'm glad to be able to do our careers together. You know, thank you for your trust coming out and training with us and all that stuff. And it's an honor to be able to make positive contributions to your career, and then also just to know you as a friend and as a fellow colleague, a fellow business owner, joining forces in the ways that we have with the Expo and all this stuff. I'm super stoked about it. Can't wait to go hang out, whip it on, you know, hang with everybody. It's gonna be good, man. So thank you as well, brother. Thanks for coming out. Heck yeah.
Thank you, Byron. It's been an honor. Thank you.
Yeah, man. We just warming up, man. We still just unwinded. Solid. Let's go. Boom. Boom. Quick shout out to our sponsor, Staccato. My first pistol sponsor. I've been sponsored by a lot of companies, right, over the years. But when it comes to pistol, that's my bread and butter. Pistol is something I believe in. You know, I'm a competitive shooter. You know, we're shooting anywhere from, you know, 800 rounds a month type of thing, right? So Staccato, being what I believe, is one of, if not the most complete handguns you can put in your hand. It's got every component that a handgun could have, should have. They're actually extremely dependable now that they've made some changes, and these things are straight up tack drivers. If you're looking for a pistol that will do as much of the work for you as a piece of hardware can, obviously you have to have the marksmanship and all the different things, but different guns perform at different levels. And I want to say that Staccato is one of, by far, for sure, take it from a competitive shooter, we're shooting the highest volumes of rounds constantly right now. Not used to have a background guy, but like right now, when you go shoot, you're gonna see certain brands. Staccato is one of, if not the highest performing firearm that is both CCW, duty ready, and also competitive ready. So I want to give them a shout out. If you guys are looking for a good handgun to build your skills on top of, go check out Staccato. Much love and respect. Boom. When it comes to the technology you use to protect your home, there's nothing better than Deep Sentinel. AI-driven, human-monitored technology that will keep you and your family safe for the same price you're paying for whatever Ring doorbell system you have. Check out Deep Sentinel. It's such an honor to join forces with these guys. They should be in every single house in the world.
Get real-time Overwatch for you and your loved one. And for 10% off, depending on when you're watching this, don't forget to use code Byron at checkout. Boom. And to support this podcast, go to executiveprotectionlifestyle.com and contribute to our Patreon account. That Patreon account is what helps me make this podcast possible, contributing to this brand, what we're doing here, making it so that I can bring better guests on, making it so that we can plan more events and just expand the contribution to the private security industry, and also to making America a safer place. Do whatever you can, contribute whatever you can, because it makes all of these things possible. Thanks for those contributions.